The incident cleanup project is the next new feature or series of changes, I suppose, that I'm going to be discussing. So, as I said earlier, the incident cleanup is a series of different changes. There's three primary features and updates that I'm going to be discussing. The first, and as you see, I already have an incident open. The first is going to be view modes. So by default, your incident is going to be viewed as full. So you see the entire incident screen, all the related incidents, all the citations and offenders and modus operandi and all that stuff. However, if you don't need all those fields, you can change your view mode to any of the options that we're going to give you. Now, you may log into your Nova Ally after the update and not see all of these view modes. We separate the view modes by certain criteria. So say, for example, private security customers should see the private security view mode, while law enforcement customers should see the reporting view mode, since it helps fill out IBR and UCR reports. Again, university, that would apply to university customers. So for now, I'm going to just look at, let's look at reporting. So I click on reporting, and there's a view mode drop down, and you can see instantly my page is significantly shorter. So I have my natures and all this regular stuff up top, my offenses and modus operandi and whatnot, but nothing extraneous. Even if I open up these criminal circumstances, you'll see that there's significantly fewer fields available. We've limited this page only to what is required for IBR and UCR. So you won't see any fields that you don't need. Well, for the most part. There may be a couple like responding officers, but we felt that it was necessary to keep those fields in there. But for the most part, it's going to be only your IBR and UCR required fields. We also have other view modes, say for example basic, which everybody's going to have. Basic should simplify it pretty significantly. You can see it's fairly similar to the last one. I know private security is a bit smaller too. Has, victims and offenses and offenders and that sort of thing. But it doesn't have a lot of the related vehicles and whatnot on there. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be limited to just this single view mode every single time you edit an incident. View modes are per incident. So if one view mode, you need to fill out a little more information, you can switch that one to full. Or you can switch it to your reporting or your basic. That's all up to you on which view mode to use per incident. If one officer saves the incident in a specific view mode, the next time anybody views that incident, they'll view it as that view mode. But they will also have the ability to change the view mode for that incident as well. So along those lines, we've also edited the view screen just slightly so that fields that are not filled in will not appear on this page. So that should remove some of the superfluous fields that aren't as necessary that maybe you've never filled out. For example, you'll see that there was no area. If I go over here and I switch area to zone 1, save that, my view page now has area. If I edit this and remove area, it should now be gone. So under addresses, you will no longer see that area field. That's just a subtle little change that will help clean up your incident view page and the printing of it. So any fields that you're not filling out, you don't have to worry about seeing on here. The next thing I want to discuss is the name involvement process. Oh, actually, before I forget, I suppose I should mention this. Users have the ability to set their own default view mode per incident. So the default incident view on your profile page up here is going to be set to full by default, but if you can change it to reporting, university, basic, anytime you create a new incident, it's going to default to that one. Now, any existing incident is still going to default to whatever it was saved as, but any new incident will default to whatever you set here. Admins are able to set this on a user level on the users page. So you can set their default incident view under their administration section. The next thing that I wanted to discuss is the name involvement process simplification. I can open up my loitering again, and I press edit. And as I'm sure you're all aware, previously when you had to add a name record to an incident, you had to do a search process back on the name involvement screen. All of that has been completely eliminated to simplify the process to allow you to search for a user just on this screen alone. So I can see my recently viewed names over here on the right. If it's any of these guys, I can click on them and their information will be added just like normal, and I can move along. Let's say I want to add somebody else though. I'm going to do last name Jackson. I can filter that out, and on my filter results up top, I can see all the records that I have in my system with last name Jackson. And I say, oh, okay, it's actually this person right here. I can click on that, and that person is added right here on the incident page. If I press plus again, say I can't find the exact user that I want to find with this information, last name, first name, and driver license. I can still do a detailed name search down here and go back to exactly how it was before, and I can search and find my more complicated person, someone that I didn't know anything about them, and then I can involve them like normal, and they appear down here as another subject. And last but not least, say you pulled someone over, you have their driver license. His last name is Jones. His first name is Bob Jones, and his driver license is 1111111. I'm going to filter that out. Oh, I did not find any matches. Well, you can actually click right here and to create and involve a new record from the filtered data. So if I click here, I'm going to be creating a name record with first name Bob, last name Jones, and this driver license. Click that, and I now have the subject added to the incident. I can save and close, and I can head on down to my offenders, and I can find my new guy, Bob Jones. I can click on his name record, and I can see that he has a name record with the driver license there. So that whole process should hopefully make it a lot easier for you to involve names to incidents. That name involvement process, I should mention, applies to any place where you involve names. So if you're involving names to traffic stops, calls for service, citations, all those places will have this exact same name involvement process. They won't, however, have this involvement process for other record types. So if you're involving a vehicle or a business, you're still going to have the former involvement type. That's something that we hope to change in a later release, but we figured names is the key priority right there. So last but not least, on the incidents page, I'll edit my incident again. And when I get to my incident page, I can scroll down, and I'm going to show you how we simplified some of these multi-select fields. So previously, you would open up bias motivation, for example, and have a huge list of all the bias motivations. Now, we have not removed any bias motivations. What we've done is we've made it into this drop down that has a scroll bar, which will make it easier to see, and a search field up top. So you can call your list just by searching. You'll also notice this highlighter right here. This highlighter is useful because it allows you to use your keyboard to tab up and down. And then, if you press enter on the item that you're highlighting, it'll add it to there up top. So I can tab down, enter, and then I can press tab to go out, and all my records are added there. Another thing to point out here is that right when you click the drop down, you can start typing right away and calling it. So I'm going to do vehicle. Okay, there we go. I'm going to do burglary, theft, there. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to click them all, or I'm going to deselect them all. Nice and easy. So that's really all there is to show with that particular addition to the names page. It's subtle, but I've found already that it's helped me find things much faster and simplify my searches, or simplify my selections here on the incident page. That same functionality, I'll note, exists on any place that has those drop-down fields. For example, on the incident search page on the nature dropdown, or some other pages, or yeah, you'll see the state dropdown, you'll have these exact same options. Now, these dropdowns always looked like this, but now you can call right from the beginning and search out what you want to search for, and also use the arrow key and the enter button to select and deselect options. So that's all I wanted to show with the incident cleanup process. Thanks for listening.